episode number 124 with Mike Snyderman. Welcome to the Heads Up Poker Podcast. This is Steve Barton.
And this is Mike. How you doing, Steve?
Good, good. And thank you for tuning in. Thank you for telling your friends. Thank you for purchasing the MP3s and signing up through our links for TPE. Thank you for being there each and every week. This week I'm here with Mike, and we're catching up. And Mike has been to Vegas twice in the last couple weeks. I just got back from Vegas a few days ago. Mike's selling action for the WSOP, and I'm going to be out there for the WSOP. So we're going to shoot the breeze and talk some poker strat.
It looks like we have a theme today, Steve. Vegas is the theme.
Yeah. Vegas, yes.
Vegas is on our mind here.
How were your trips?
Unprofitable.
Okay, all right. You were out there 2 weekends, right?
Right. I think. I don't know. It's a blur. I fired. There was a win. I had a $250K this last weekend, so I fired a couple of bullets in that, and bricked them both. But then I had a 2-5 at the Bellagio where I made $1,300. So basically, I broke even.
Okay, nice.
And the previous weekend, I think I lost like $1,500 or something. I can't remember.
Okay. It was a good 2-5 game though.
Yeah. I mean, it's just Vegas poker so much better than what I've got here in Oceanside.
Yeah.
I'm always talking about how the games are hard, and I know I repeat myself, but the top pros in the 5-5 game here, they would never even be near a 2-5 game in Vegas because they'd be playing 5-10.
Okay.
So you don't have to deal with, a certain kind of player. But, yeah, I'm excited for the summer. I mean, of course, I'm going out there mostly for the tournaments, like you said, but if not, the Wynn's got that 1-3 game.
That
one's $500
pretty good.
Max.
Yeah, that one's pretty good.
I like to be able a 1-3 game where you can buy in for that much is nice. Plus, they don't take $1 out for the flop, and the rake's not as bad. So, yeah.
Yeah. What's the rake? Is it $4 to a maximum of 10% or?
Yeah, maximum of $5. Yeah.
Maximum of 10%. So $50. Yeah. Okay.
So, but basically, yeah, if you raise and someone calls and then you see bet and they fold, it's probably only $2 where it's, $5 where I play now. So.
Yeah. Good.
When are you going out, Steve? I know you were unsure about your schedule before. Do you know when exactly?
I know for sure I'm going to be out there June 20th through June 27th, and there's probably going to be a few days on either end where I'll be out there as well. But that's the week that I'll be there for sure.
What's the schedule? What are you going to be grinding that week? Do you know?
I haven't even looked into the tournaments. I just found out my schedule the other day, and I'm excited. I don't know. I'm going to go out with about probably 4K, so I'll hunt around for the turn. Yeah,
you can play a 1K there with that kind of bankroll if you wanted to.
I could, yeah. I think I'm going to start with get my feet wet in a couple, $300-$400 tournaments, and then we'll just see how the week goes. If I brick those, then I'll just continue playing those, and if I get a couple of scores, then I'll bump up. But yeah, so I'm excited. I'm
picking up. I'm pulling up the WSOP schedule. I'm just curious what. Let's see, the 20th through the 27th. The 20th is a Tuesday. A $1,000 no limit hold'em turbo bounty.
Okay.
That's
pretty good on the 20th.
$300 bounties, a 1-day tournament.
Okay.
That should be right up on our alley, Steve. For us, we're always studying these 10, 15 big blind spots.
True, yes. Yeah. That would be fun. What else do we got?
There's a $1,500 shootout on Thursday, the 22nd.
A little pricey. What's going on the 21st?
Just a 10K six-handed championship and a PLO event. So
I think that's a bit out of my bankroll.
but there's there'll be something there to play. Venetian, Planet Hollywood, or Win.
Planet Hollywood, Win. They're all competing. They all have tournaments running all the time. Yeah, I can't wait. And they're all good. Yes, I'm excited. I contacted Derek and Mark, and they haven't decided on a house yet. He said everyone's schedule is just so up in the air, but I let him know. I'm like, I'll be there this time. I'd love to stay with you guys. I'm clean. I basically been a janitor at the fire station for 15 years. I know how to clean. I can cook.
Well, don't you have a place to stay with your brother?
I do, yeah. But I would like to stay some time with those guys just to be immersed in the poker house and everything,
Right. Sure. Of course.
Yeah. Are you and Alex going to get a house, or what's your plans?
Yeah, that's up in the air. He's working on that, I guess. I don't know if I'm going to be. Yeah, hopefully.
That would be better than the Rio, I think. It'd be cheaper, and you'd be able to get a good night's sleep and everything, and
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, although the Rio is convenient for just taking breaks. You go up to your room for the dinner break, that kind of thing.
That's true.
So I did like that aspect of it, but yeah, it'd probably be cheaper, and it's probably good.
If you got a house close. I mean, hell, I rented a room on Airbnb only a couple miles away. It was pretty close to the TPE house, and it was only like $30 a night for a room. I bet you could get a small apartment for $50-$60 a night, and then you can have food and you can have beer in the fridge and all that shit.
Right.
Yeah. But,
in the Monster Stack, by the way, Steve, is also taking place while you're out there.
What's the buy into that?
That's 1,500. So I don't know if you consider that beyond your. Maybe you could sell a little action there. Sell off 40%. Sell off 40% of yourself at no markup or something.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Or if I'm running, what day is the Monster Stack?
Starts on Saturday, the 24th.
Yeah, maybe if I might be there about a week or so already, and maybe if I hit a couple of tournaments, then I'll buy into that. That would be a fun one. I'm bummed that I'm not going to be there for the tag team event. That's a bummer, but that's all right. We'll get it next year.
Yeah, I didn't even put that on my schedule, but
no. Okay.
Well, there's a I forget what else is going on that time that I was interested in. But there's a few other events I kind of liked.
Right on.
So.
Now your package, I'm looking at it here, and what's the okay? So you got
Steve. You should articulate what exactly you're saying when you're saying you're looking at my package right now.
That was a good one. Okay, I'm staring at Mike's package, and I see the first package has 6 tournaments on it. That's package A. Package B has 5 tournaments, and these are all at various ones: Venetian, Rio, Planet Hollywood, Win.
Just this is me looking for some financial backing for the summer, selling my action, and of course I'm playing so many tournaments. I decided to break it up into like 5 packages. Yeah, like you said, for pretty much each one is like a week to 10 days of poker.
Mm-hmm.
So you can, so you can buy, rather than buying to buy 1% of my entire summer, even that is expensive. That's.
Well, I was looking at that 1%. Let's see, for package A, B, C, and D. Oh, there's a package E. I didn't even see that one.
That's the main event. Yeah.
Okay, so 140 and 140. That's 280. What is it for 1% of all 5 of these?
I haven't done that. 337, 446, 666, and 80. 726 for 1% of my whole.
666?
7 something. I don't know.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't have it. I'm going to have.
I'd like to get 1% of that. I think
really?
that would be fun. Yeah, that would be an awesome sweat. And
sorry, Steve, sold out.
And that'll. I like to level out some variance here. So if I can, I can't be out there for nearly as long as you're going to be, but if I can get 1% of 20 tournaments here, that's going to be cool.
Yeah, it is interesting. if you go to by the way, if you go to my Twitter, you'll see at the top, I have pinned to the top a link to my staking package on 2+2, so you can go there, and from there you can look at the Google spreadsheet which breaks it all down.
Yeah, we'll put a link to your link on 2+2, and then a link to the Google Docs in the show notes. So if you guys are interested in buying a piece of Mike, if you just want to get one of these packages, or if you want to get a piece of all of them, you can sweat them on Twitter, and the links will be in the show notes.
What's interesting, Steve, is like I just put the packages together and thought they're all pretty good. I thought I did a pretty good job of hunting down tournaments. I even have like one at the Golden Nugget and, playing it. Ben Reasons looked through my schedule and encouraged me to get rid of some of the WSOP events.
Okay.
And do look around town. So I did that. But, some of my packages, like package C has only sold 12%, or package B has already actually sold out 40%.
Oh, really?
So, I mean, obviously, Steve, if I can get you a piece of anything, that's fine.
Okay.
But
cool. Thanks.
Just looking at the spread, it'd be interesting why. I'm trying to think, why is B so much more attractive here? I don't know. It does have the
Rio Event 12, Venetian 250K Bounty, 1100, Rio Millionaire Maker 1500, 3 bullets. That's probably it. Planet Hollywood 500K, 600, 4 bullets. Win million plus 1100, 2 bullets. I bet it's a Millionaire Maker right there. Right. That's what I see when I see it.
Yeah, they're all good events. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. This is cool, man. I'm excited. I cannot wait for the WSOP. Oh my God, this is gonna be awesome. Gonna be fun.
I'm going to try to. Sorry, Steve. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say I just got back from Vegas. I was out there for a bit. We went out and picked up a new plane, and not a new plane. It's from 1969, but it's a new plane to us. So we flew it back, and it was fun. I got to play a little cash while I was out there, and good little trip.
Do you now have more than one plane, Steve?
No, we sold the other one. So we've been looking for like 6 months and finally found one that we liked.
Jeez.
So it's a neat little first world problems for sure, but it's a neat little plane. It's cool. It's good on fuel. This is going to be so much cheaper than the last one, and it's got good instrumentation. It just flies good. We went all the way up to 11,500 feet, which is more than 2 miles up, and it just climbed right up there. Like it was cool. It was cool. It's a neat little plane.
Wow,
it's cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. But we got a review, a new review here. It's 5 stars from Snackus Maximus from Australia. Heads Up Poker Podcast is clearly my favorite amongst many poker-related downloads that I consume each week. Listening to Steve and Mike is genuinely a highlight of my week. Well, thank you. These guys have an easy-to-listen-to style, and they discuss hands that are relevant to the low-medium stake games that I play live and online. The reason that Steve and Mike guests apply to the featured strategy hands has really broadened my approach to the game. The reasoning that Steve and Mike... Okay. Furthermore, Mike's bad run stories are certainly something I can identify with and are educational in their own way. Steve and Mike come across as genuinely nice guys who have formed an enviable relationship. They're making a great contribution to my own poker growth and to the community, the poker community in general. Well done, guys. Keep up the great work. You have many fans in Melbourne, where I live. Very cool. Thank you, man.
Yeah, thank you.
That's cool. I think that's also taken the award for the longest review we've ever had. So awesome. Thank you, brother.
What was I going to say, Steve? Just my plan for prepping for the WSOP. I actually took out the pen and paper yesterday. I thought you'd be proud of me here.
Oh, good. I'm intrigued.
Well, every year I have we've had these a couple New Year's episodes where I'm like, I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to do this and da. But I mean, nothing radical. But I just want to have like a good month beforehand, where I actually made a bet with Alex to. I'll only play 2-3, no 5-5 or above.
Nice.
that I can't really have a week where I lose 6,000 or 7,000 and I have my little Vegas money put aside. Let's not threaten it.
Yeah.
I think that's a good start right there.
Yeah, that's a really good start.
So even if I grind long hours at 2-3, hopefully I make anywhere between 1,500 and 5,000 over the next 200 hours or whatever it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
The other one is exercise each day.
Good for you.
So not just get up and fuck around on social media and go out and get some sun, exercise before I go to the casino, before I do anything else. That's part of the lose weight thing. So it's not, I can't starve myself and try to lose 20 pounds in 1 month. I'll go crazy.
Yeah.
But if I could drop even a few pounds before the series, I think it'll be a little healthier.
Yeah.
And what else? I mean, these are all basic things. I don't know about. I don't know if I actually in the meditation mode, but yeah, listen to Elliot's tapes each day.
Good for you.
Yeah, I just got a feeling. I think I'm going to be ready out there, and of course, that all it'll take is one bad beat for me to throw a chair across the room. But hey, you never know.
No, that's good. It's. I think it's so important to have like a morning ritual, like a morning routine. And especially if you can combine that with exercise or working out, it just sets the rest of the day up on the right pace. If you wake up and you drink a cup of coffee and then you go straight to go playing, you're on an empty stomach, your blood sugar's all off, you know what I mean? But if you have the same routine every single day, then you're playing on an even keel.
Okay. Yeah. No. That's the essence of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just creates. I'm not going to say that I'm not going to. And just out there, I don't know if I can say no alcohol, no gambling, and no strip clubs altogether. But that's going to be a very minimal part of my summer for sure.
Yeah, I would just say if you can just do that morning success ritual, it'll take a month to really get it down. And when you set the alarm clock and you wake up, you're like, oh my God, I do not feel like doing this. But after you get through that first month, then it just becomes a part of your routine, just like brushing your teeth. But around week 3 is brutal, and you may miss a day. But when you do, get right back on it the next time, or it's going to get easier and easier to neglect it each day that goes on,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Anyways, I like the challenge here. It looks like I'm going to have the big thing I was concerned of just not getting money. But that surprisingly doesn't seem like that's going to be the easiest part here.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll pimp it out. We'll get you sold out. This is you may want to. I don't know. We talked a little bit about this. Is you may want to sell 40% on your first 2 packages, and then if you are running well, then don't sell any more than 40% on the rest. And if you're not, then sell another 20% on the remainings and
right.
Run it out.
Yeah, I think I'm going to. I think I'm going to book 40% for the whole thing for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And but like you said, if I might have to, if I'm doing poorly, I might have to sell 60% for the second half of the summer, kind of thing.
Yeah, and if you do, it's nothing. That's fine. Think about it. You're getting a little bit of markup, and you're getting paid for your time, and you want to play this whole series.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of funny though. I should really push Alex here to kind of like you. I'd like the experience of living with some poker players.
Yeah. That's I want to set aside a week, and just if you and Alex get a house, let me know, and I'm in, dude.
Sure.
But if
Alex,
the TPE guys don't they can't get their shit together, then I'd love to go with you guys.
Yeah, and Alex is all his crew. I'll be curious to meet them. He's got all these San Francisco kids who are chess masters and blah 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 who also play poker. Super smart kids.
Cool.
So
that'll be cool. We'll set up a meeting with the TPE guys too. Go to some drunken PTs and all that. That should be fun.
That'll be part of it. Yeah.
Yes. Farron called me today, and he says hi. By the way, Mike, he's on a heater. He took $25 and spun it up into over 700 in 3 days.
Nice.
On ignition. Yes. So
Farron is a definite follower of my Twitch stream.
Yeah,
watches that a lot, and he's also a fan of the podcast as well.
Yeah. He said that he didn't have much to do for 3 days, so he just started playing online poker, and anywhere from $3 to $7 tournaments, and he just started banking, and he ran it up. So well done, sir. He just wanted to thank us and say he's learned a lot from the podcast, and he's learned a lot from your Twitch stream and from watching videos. And, he was on a downswing, and he said, I got to turn this around. So he just spent 3 weeks, didn't play any poker, only studied, and then just came out on fire. So
he seems to have a very equal, a sensible Barton-esque head on him.
I got a sense of that when we were talking on the phone. Yeah.
Just in terms of bankroll management and all that, he likes that challenge of it too, I think.
Yeah.
Not just trying to win a big tournament, but like you said, your favorite poker book, treat poker like a business, Dusty Schmidt.
Yep. Yeah.
Some people find that not as a restriction, but as a challenge, an exciting challenge. So.
Yeah. I basically gave him that advice. I said for those ignition tournaments, just buy into tournaments. They're 1% of your bankroll, so $7 is your max. Maybe on the weekends, if there's a good tournament, buy into a 10 or a 15 or something. But realize that's 2% of your bankroll right there, a $15 tournament. So. So we'll see how he does. Maybe the heater will continue. I said, you're on a heater. It's it will end at some time, but enjoy the ride. It's one of the funnest times in poker. But yeah, have fun.
Steve, I have to confess here. Very soon, I might have the most humiliating moment of my life might be occurring here.
Well, this should be interesting.
I might have to ask Carlos for some coaching.
Oh, really?
That's a bad day, isn't it? Let's be honest. Well, he's hard to get a hold of these days, man. He's too busy coaching.
Yeah.
He used to study with us, and now he's not. I haven't studied with him for a while, and just in terms of analyzing the tournaments that I play and that sort of thing, I'm missing his insight here. So I don't know. Maybe I can trade him for a few cans of peaches or something like that. We can work out something where I don't actually have to pay for it.
Cans of black beans was his last diet.
Right, that's true.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Peaches he has on Halloween. That's his sweet for the year.
Yeah.
That's going to be weird seeing skinny Carlos out there, huh? If he's lost 40 pounds or whatever he's lost.
It is, yeah. I kind of hope he keeps up with it, and this is good for his definite life. EV, he's always kind of been a big guy as long as I've known him, and it'd be good for him to drop a couple lbs.
Steve, speaking of my little effort to lose some weight here, I don't know. There's a kid I play poker with who's he's a personal trainer, or that's what he did for years. Now he's pretty much 100% poker. Okay. But you probably already know about this. Are you familiar with the EPOC exercise training? EPOC?
No.
I actually just pulled it up on Wikipedia here. I'm not going to, but it's excess post-exercise oxygen consumption, called afterburn. As much as I can tell, like this guy's describing his workouts to me, it's mixing the anaerobic and the aerobic. Let's just put it this way. He works out his exercise. He says he can do in 15, 20 minutes what somebody else takes an hour and a half, 2 hours to do. And it's basically immediately getting your heart rate. Like normally, like if I do on the elliptical machine, if I'm working hard, I mean, it's like I'll be on there for 45 minutes and, my heart rate will be up there. But I mean, 5 or 10 minutes later, I'm feeling totally fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. So, you get in the zone and yeah.
So his exercise is, he's got a little Nautilus machine or whatever. He goes out into the street, sprints all the way up the street back, backing up in the street, immediately does a quick circuit. Basically, you go for like 10, 15, 20 minutes, however long you can go without a pause.
Yeah.
And doing running and muscular all at once.
That's what I do.
Okay, that's the kind of thing. And it's just, basically, it's kind of like, I guess, if you're in a because it's kind of interesting.
I call them prison workouts. That's what I know them as, but it's the same thing. So
okay.
you like when I'm at home, I go run in the fields, and I've got a bunch of strawberry fields by my house because Oxnard's famous for strawberries. But anyways, I go down there and I run in the dirt, and I do the same thing. I do sprints and then push-ups and then like a shit ton of lunges, and you're not breaking. You're not taking a break in between each one. Does that make sense? And
okay, maybe
so you can condense, a workout that, when you go to the gym and there's those meatheads walking around and, they'll do a set of, like 3 with 4 plates on each side, and then they walk around for 15 minutes and then they go back and do it again. You can get like a solid workout in, 20, 25, 30 minutes, 15 if that's what you want to do. Yeah, that's what you want to do.
Okay. But yeah, a lot of it is interesting too. It's like you're actually burning calories. You burn the most calories not while you're exercising, but it's like how long it takes your body to recover. So that if basically, like, I don't know, well, this exercise says you really you really can only do it like once every 24 hours almost, because it takes your body a while to recover. So it's, I don't know, the building up the lactic acid here. I couldn't explain it, but basically, the long story short, I can't really. I did it. Swimming to me is equivalent to that, but rather than doing, 15, 20 laps, I did like 4 laps, and then I just sprinted like 3 laps like mad.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
And that, that for me is I'm out of shape. So that was about, 6 minutes, but I could just feel. It was like 2 hours before I was like recovered from it, kind of thing.
Yeah,
I felt because it was so intense with the muscular and the just sucking for oxygen. Where it's like, well, I can raise I can raise my heartbeat to 180 beats a minute, whatever, and on an exercise. Well, that's pretty high, but on a on a Stairmaster for 40 minutes, but like 5 minutes afterwards, it's like I'm not really. Like here, I was, 20 minutes later, I could still feel I was kind of still deep breathing, just because it's, like I said, it's just your muscles and aerobically are just working at the max. And like I said, I was just swim as fast as I could till I was just, gassed, absolutely, just couldn't move,
That's what you want to do. You want to, what's happening to your muscles is they're getting little microscopic tears in them. And then over the course of the day and when you sleep, those little microscopic tears get repaired and they're stronger now. And the next time you work out, you can do more. And so that's what you want to feel. You want to feel that burn, and afterwards you want to feel exhausted. And that's exactly it. Is you're breaking down your body so that it's stronger the next time. And what my wife and I just did Insanity this morning. And that was a 30-minute workout, but it was probably before we did that at like 10 o'clock. And it was probably 2 o'clock before I was feeling like, not sore anymore. Once we'd eaten lunch and the food had settled in, I drank a bunch of water. That's how you want to feel. Now, tomorrow, I'm going to go for a run, and I'm going to go out in the fields and do the push-ups and squats and all that stuff, like I said. And then the day after that will be a stretching day. So it'll all be stretching. It'll be like some deep, hard stretching for probably about an hour. And then the day after that, then you kind of start it over. Okay. And once you kind of get a routine down after about maybe 4, 6, 8 weeks, whatever, a month to 2 months, then you switch it and you start doing different exercises.
Right. Okay. Well, you got this figured out. I really got to do that's the other thing about the summer, that my back is pretty bad right now. So losing weight. This will
help that a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, I need to. Anyways, this whole concept is pretty obvious that working out for an hour and a half is great, but you probably, if you have just 10 minutes of like misery, you're probably it takes your body it's much more difficult for your body to recover from that than it is from, like you said. Anyways, just
when you're regularly working out, you kind of are always just a little bit sore. Like that never really goes away. You know, you're just always just a little bit sore. But after a while, that feeling, you kind of enjoy it.
Right.
It just feels like you've earned it or something.
Sure, I got you.
Know? I dig it. Yeah.
I wonder. I'm sure I could just find something on YouTube. I wonder, like, I need like a pretty like regimented stretching thing to really. I got to find like an actual routine for stretching, other than, you know, if you're doing it for an hour, you're not just, okay, here's the hamstrings, here's the quads. That's, you know, you've got a routine there. Probably you learned through yoga or something.
Yeah, I can actually send you a video. It's called The Science of Stretching, and the guy, it's about, I don't know, 40 minutes long, the video, and he breaks it down so a third grader can understand it. And after that, you just memorize the routine. There's 8 moves, and you do it once a week. It takes about 45 minutes, and then your body and your bones and everything feel in line. This will help your back immensely. Like, I can send it to you. I can make you a copy. It's okay. It's really, really good.
Sounds good, man. Sounds good.
Right on.
So do we have you want to say a word about our good friends Elliot and the friends at TPE before we go over a few hands here?
Yeah, I've got some hands from, well, I was in Vegas, and I had about 3 hours to kill. So I dropped the wife off at the mall, and I went to the Excalibur. Had to pay for parking. That I don't like that much. MGM, you got to pay for parking now. That's not cool. But just before I went into the Excalibur, you know what I did, Mikey?
I don't know.
I listened to an Elliot Roe live cache MP3.
Ah.
Yes. Just because we're at the Excalibur doesn't mean that we have to live in medieval times. We've got modern technology. We have our phones. We've got our tablets. And we have our favorite Englishmen that can speak directly to our subconscious and influence us to play at our full potential. On your A game all the time. This time, when I was out in front of the Excalibur, I kind of leaned the chair back, put the sunshade up above the windshield so I didn't have people staring at me. And with the tinted windows, I leaned back and I listened to a cache MP3. So he's got these of all kinds. This time I used the cache one, but just click on the link in the show notes, or you'll find it at headsuppoker.poker. Use the code HUPOKER, that's HUPOKER, and you'll score yourself a discount and support the pod. Okay, this one is...
So quickly, Steve, if I could give my story of before I forget, was the funniest thing that happened in Vegas. Playing at Bellagio, the 2-5 game.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I had a good session. I won like $1,400 or $1,300. There's this one guy who's this enormous fat dude. I mean, like enormous, like 400 pounds plus.
That's a big dude.
And he played like 2 hands in like 6 hours and lost them both to me. Where he misplayed him is about as bad as you can. But I cracked his kings with like 5-7. I think I turned to straight and he check shoved, and I stacked him. He was drawn dead. He had kings.
Yeah.
And then there's another one where it was like a 4-way pot, and he ended up folding, but I guess he claimed he had aces, which was plausible for the action.
Yeah.
But I had the nut flush. So anyways, I'm picking up to go. Alex is at the table, by the way. And like, I'm too stupid to know when people are like, hate me. You know what I mean? So I'm like racking up. He's like, what time are you playing tomorrow, man? I'm like 11. I'm playing the tournament. Are you? I thought we were starting to have a conversation here.
Yeah.
And then I'm like studying his face for a second. I can see he's just looking at me with like total hatred. So I'm figuring it out slowly. He's like, I just want to know what time you're here because like you're the spot or whatever he said, something like that. Yeah. And like I just, it's typical. Just I have a new pink hat, by the way, Steve, which really just pink is the nuts, man. It just makes fat guys angry. It really does.
Is it one of those that you get like free on a golf course at a women's breast cancer thing, or what are we talking?
It's I got it at
beautiful.
They had like a little surfing competition down at the beach in Oceanside, and they had a bunch of surfing people selling stuff. So I don't know if it's a surf cat. It's a pink hat that has a bunch of birds on it. It looks pretty. Does
this beat roses?
So yeah, pretty. But pretty much. Not only did he lose to me, but he lost to a goofball who was smiling and laughing and drinking with a pink hat. So,
Nice.
but it was funny after, and so he's like, I just want to know when. He's like, I just want to know there's going to be a spot tomorrow or something like that. And I didn't. I just shrugged my shoulders and kept counting the chips. And I think Alex, he was kind of giving. Alex was playing at the table. He was like offended that I'm not standing up for myself. He's like, why wait for tomorrow, man? I'll play you right now. Heads up if you're looking for some action.
Alex did that?
Alex did. So it was pretty. So he was. Alex was coming to my defense there. He was very chivalrous there, but I was,
Yes.
there's nothing this guy could. But it was funny. Like afterwards, I'm like, shouldn't I? Yeah. He's like, yeah, I should have said something, man.
Alex was protecting his man in the pink hat.
Yeah, I should have been. He's like, I should have said, hey, man, hey, Slim, don't you have other things to worry about? But anyways,
Did he pull out one of his empty pockets with the white pocket hanging out the outside for you to grab, or
no?
Oh, okay.
I didn't get that one, Steve. What's that?
Never mind. Another prison reference. Just
Oh, geez. Okay.
Bad joke.
Anyway, Steve, I'm sorry. It was just funny how you go to Vegas for 3 hours, you write down a couple hands. I play Vegas for 3 hours and I have an enemy for life. It's just it's a different experience walking into a low stakes cash game for me and you probably. So tell me about your Excalibur. I've never been there, but yeah.
Yeah, that's where I started playing No Limit was Excalibur. Where I started playing poker for some of the first times. They had a 1-3 limit game. This was over a decade ago, and I started playing that, and then. Where the mall is, it's kind of at the south end of the strip, and I pretty much wanted to find the closest casino that offered poker because I knew I had a 3-hour window. So I called South Point. They didn't have anything good. And then I called the Luxor. They had one table with like 4 people on the waiting list. And then I called the Excalibur, which was the next hotel, and they had 2 tables with several open spots. So I jumped in that.
What was 1-2 game or?
It was a 1-2 with a 300 buy-in. Or 300 max.
Okay.
So it that was acceptable, and so I jumped in that, and I've been playing for a while, for probably a couple hours, and there's a lot of straddling that was going on, and button straddles and stuff like that. This was just an active great table, and there was 2 guys that were sitting down. They had about 600 in front of them, maybe 700. Everyone else had maybe 2. I'm sorry, maybe 3, like the buy-in, and there might have been like one person with $100 or something. So it was, it was a pretty good, lively table. People were drinking. It was perfect for a 2:00 in the afternoon session. And so I listened to my MP3. Then I went in and I sat right down. Been there for a couple hours. The button, he puts on a button straddle. So the way, if you guys haven't played in a button straddle game, what it does is it basically buys him position for pre-flop, buys the button position. So the button straddles, the small blind puts out a dollar, the big blind puts out $2, and then now the first action pre-flop is on the small blind. So if he wants to play, he's got to put out $4 more. And then it goes to the big blind. If he wants to play, he's got to put out $3 more. So we had that. So the button straddled. And now this guy, he's got, he's got about 160 in front of him. He had like 700 at one point, but he's just crazy. They were talking about like how they spent like $4,000 at the club last night, and just these guys. I don't know if they had oil money or what it was, but they're
there to gamble. And
they're there to gamble. Yes, it's a perfect guy you want at the table. The small blind. So he puts on $5. It's on the small blind folds. Big blind throws in another $3, so he calls. And now the big blind is an Asian guy. He doesn't speak very good English. He's been pretty tight. This is the kind of guy that would get in kings on a 4, 5, 6 of hearts board when he doesn't have a heart. That kind of thing. Like he gets a hand and he just goes with it.
He's not going to be. He's going to be stationary probably, but he's not going to play a lot of hands. But he's not going to fold when he does.
Yeah, a lot like that. Like he was calling down with, if he hits something, then he's likely to call you down.
Gotcha.
Then it folds around to me. I'm in the, let's see, I'm in the cutoff, and I look down at King 10 of clubs. So I flick in a call there. I think, I don't know, is there an argument for raising, you think, or?
I'm sorry. All we have right at this point is a button straddle. No, we have.
We have a button straddle, then the big blind called. The button's got like 160 behind because he's lost it. And the big blind has about 600, and we have 500.
I'm sorry. You said cutoff or hijack?
I'm in the cutoff. So the next guy to act is the button.
Yeah. And how much do you have? You just bought him for 300?
No, I had 300, and I've got it up to 5 now.
I mean, normally I would like to raise an ISO here in position, but I mean, when you say the blinds are kind of crazy gambly, I don't know if that means
Button's definitely crazy gambly.
Right.
The big blind, he's a little bit more of a station that's kind of tight, but when he hits something, he's likely to give you action.
I mean, yeah. So the question is, if you want to raise here, you don't want to fold if you're re-raised because it's too strong a hand. So if you think that when you say he's crazy, he's capable of just shoving it in, and you don't really want to put that much in with King 10, then yeah, maybe just flatting here is best. But I think there's definitely arguments for raising.
Yeah, I thought if I flat here and then like the button could very easily make this 20 or something. I think the big blind's probably going to call because he's a station and he's already put money in, and then we can call at that point. But if we make it like 20 or 25 or something, then we just open up the button to
right.
3. You know
it
what
makes
I mean?
sense.
Yeah. So.
In this kind of game, you're probably, I mean, when you have such a range advantage over some people, you want to probably get a few more. You don't mind getting some more chips in, but you just want to see flops and get a nutty hand and get someone to just go off the reservation for 150 bigs.
That was kind of my plan with this game, and it was working. Is just see as many flops as possible with like suited connectors and pocket pairs, and just just play my spots. If I get a bunch of guys that are limping, and I know that these two would have raised with like at least King Jack or something, then pop it back when I've got a value hand and get calls, and it was just a good table.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyways, I flick in 5, and then the button looks down at his hand, and he thinks for a second, and then he checks. So when he thought for a little bit like that, it looked to me like he was thinking about raising, but then he just kind of decided against it. It didn't look to me like he had 7 deuce, and there was no decision, just check and hoped, and you get to see a flop. So King 10 of clubs. And the flop comes down ace of clubs, king of hearts, 6 of diamonds. Ace of clubs, king of hearts, 6 of diamonds. Okay, so we've got middle pair and an okay kicker, and we got a backdoor flush draw, backdoor straight. So on the flop, the big blind leads out for 15 into a $15 pot.
Call.
Okay. Yeah.
The backdoor straight, backdoor flush, second pair.
Yeah. Okay. I agree. I called, and then the button calls. So what are you kind of putting in the big blind's range? Well, let's start with the big blind first. What do you think he'd lead out with there on ace of clubs, king of hearts, 6 of diamonds? When he completed in the big blind, and then it folded around to me, I called, button checked, and now kind of.
I mean, he might be c-betting his whole range. You know what I mean? His whole pre-flop limping range. So I don't know. I think the button, I'm tempted to say, is more likely to have an ace than the big blind, though.
I think so.
Because, like you said, if you paused, if we're trying to figure out who more likely has this, I mean, technically the button, when like you said, when he was thinking of raising, that looks a lot like an ace, but maybe not a super strong ace.
Yeah.
Pre-flop or something. But Yeah, let's assume if the big blind's good, then he's gonna see bet with his aces, and maybe one and done with some middle pairs. I don't know, and probably some Broadway combos, hands similar to yours. Jack Queen. He still has the gutter ball.
Yeah. Okay. Queen 10, stuff like that.
Although I would probably be check giving up in a multi-way pot with a large part of my range there if I was him. So I mean I don't know how he thinks about the game, but
yeah. Okay. I usually when he bet, he had some. I hadn't seen him show a bluff, but he always had something. Whether it was like second pair or like a pocket pair to under the middling of the board, like that kind of stuff.
I think I'm going to, at this point, you have to be thinking, well, I need a good turn card for me to put any more chips in the pot here, right? Is that kind of where your mind was at?
That's where my mind was at. I thought there's so many good turn cards. A club is great. A queen or jack is awesome. That gives me a gut shot. Another king would be great. A 10 would be awesome. I figured there's a lot of good cards.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So I flick in 15. The button also calls 15. So we go to the turn. There's $56 in the pot after the rake. They took out $4. So 56 in the pot, and the turn is the queen of clubs. So again, we've got king 10 of clubs, and the board is now ace of clubs, king of hearts, 6 of diamonds, queen of clubs. So we've got a gut shot. A jack now would give us a straight, and any club would give us the nuts. Except the 6 of clubs. That would put a pair on the board. But the thing about having the king 10 of clubs and having the ace of clubs out there and then king of hearts is, any club is good here. Except the 6, baby.
Right.
But, okay, so the big blind leads out for 30, so he bets about half pot. Into 56, he bets 30. And it's on us. What are you thinking here?
I'm sorry, one more time. The big blind has like 700 and the button has like 160 or something?
Yeah, the button's got like 160. The big blind has about 600, and we have 5.
I'm tempted to raise here.
Okay.
Yeah, did you have any physical? I know you're pretty good with the live tells. What was your sense of does the big blind ever have, a set, a straight? I mean, or could they be at the top of their range here? It's hard to say.
It was tough to say. He looked like he liked his hand. Like he sat up. Everything about the way he bet, I believe that he liked his hand.
I mean, he technically would, on this board against, 2 opponents, he needs like 2 pair or better, really, to just even proceed in the hand.
Mm-hmm.
So I was going to say if he bet a little less, I was like, even before you told me how much he was going to bet, I'm like, I wonder if there'll be a sizing tell here. Because if he bets kind of on the smaller side, if he looks a little nervous, I'm going to raise. But betting 30, I don't know if that gives us any. It's still kind of small for the size of that pot. Flush draw out there, I don't know. I'm tempted to raise, but I'm always. I guess flatting's probably the best play here.
Okay. I end up going for the flat. I didn't have any read on the button. When the card came out, I was watching both of them, and I didn't get anything from the button, but the big blind, especially when he bet, I was like, okay, this guy likes his hand.
Right. I'm tempted to raise, too, because if we're putting him on not super strong aces, then we raise and we kind of get him out of, he kind of has to fold, I think, his ace 9 off kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, I don't know. You just hate to have the big blind raise you off your equity here.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were to make it 90 and they made it, 275 or whatever, you pretty much have to fold.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. That's my answer to most hands, Steve. But we just know we're not folding here.
Yeah, I end up going for the call.
Okay.
And then the button surprises me, and he shoves for 157.
Well, that's what I was worried about. Yeah, I was like, well, if you make it 80 or 90, you're committed to a stack, and you're kind of shrugging, well, I got a shit ton of outs, but.
Yeah. Then the big blind, he doesn't hesitate 1 second. He calls 157.
Huh. Well, this is a simple, let's call the pot. Let's call the size of the pot here, right?
Yeah. Okay, so the pot at this point is 370. And
It's more than that.
Is it? I don't think so.
You said it was one. Oh no, it was 50 something. Okay, I'm sorry. And then you put 30 is 80, and they each have how much? Another. Okay.
Yeah, so we got 157 plus 157 plus 56.
Okay, 314, 370. Yeah.
Okay, so the pot's 370.
Did you add your $30 in there too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no, you know what? I didn't. So the pot is my bad. It's 400.
You have to call 120 something.
400. I got to call 157.
But you already had he shoved for 157 total. You already have $30 in there, right?
So I got to call for
127.
127. You're right. Give me a second math. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I got to call 127.
Well, this is a straightforward call.
I think so, right? We gotta be good here 32% of the time.
Only 24%, according to my calculations here.
Well, 127 divided by 400?
No, it's 127 divided by 527, because you put the 127 is in, and that's how you'll be pulling 527 back total.
Oh, goddammit, you're right. Yeah.
At the end. So yeah. So only 24% of the time.
Okay.
So that's just, how many, it's, yeah. So you basically,
Let's see, we make our hand, if we count 11 outs and say that a 6 is no good, maybe what we do is we say there's 3 6s left in the deck. Let's say that 2 of them are no good, 1 of them is, or something. So we could.
Why don't we just say the 6? Let's imagine the worst case scenario here. Just for the worst case scenario, though, is we still have 11 outs, right? Because we got 8 clubs rather than 9, and we still have straight.
Yeah.
Now somebody could already have the straight, so you.
We don't have the straight.
You got the draw. The jack gives you a straight, right?
The jack makes it straight, yeah.
So you have outs to the jack. But there's also the implied odds too. So you could, you hit your hand, you could win another, whatever that is, another $350 if you hit your club or the jack.
That's what I was thinking. Is I was wondering what are the odds that the big blind will get it in if the 3 of clubs rolls off, and I thought there could be a fair chance that he's got a flush draw as well. But
I don't know if it's a good chance, especially when he snap calls the other bet, because that's usually usually requires stopping to think about pot odds and what do you have and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I put him on 2 pair a lot.
Okay.
2 pair or better. Yeah, I think it's a must call. In the worst case scenario where, obviously one of them has a flush draw and the other guy has this nut straight, where now you have just 7 outs to win the pot.
Yeah.
And, 2 to chop it. So there are scenarios where you only have, 15, 16. I would say an average scenario in this spot, you have probably 30% equity or something. I don't know.
I did the math here real quick. 24% of the time we'll make our hand. And that's not counting the 6 of clubs to pair the board.
Well, that's what I just said. 24% is what we saw. Yeah. So I guess you're saying it's a neutral spot. But
it's break
also,
even then if it's 24% on the call.
There's also
then plus the implied odds. So it's a definite call then.
Right. I mean, if the 6 of clubs came, I guess you have to call his shove. I don't know. So I don't know if you consider that reverse implied odds, but no.
That would be reverse implied odds. I don't know if I could fold if the 6 of clubs came.
But I don't think that's one card.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's not. I was going to say the easiest call in the world. Maybe it's not that easy, but I think I'm definitely calling here.
Okay. Yeah, I couldn't fold either. I put in the.
So what do you make over the fact of, do we now take sets and straights out of the guy who snap called rather than reshoving? Why would he just call and not shove is my question. Wouldn't he want to get you out of the hand?
Well, he doesn't know I got a draw. Or does he? I guess my hand at this point does kind of look like a draw, huh?
No, I mean, it doesn't. I mean...
Or like an ace?
Well, I mean, it doesn't really matter. If he's got a straight, it doesn't really matter if you have a draw or if you have a set or whatever you have. He wants to get it in now.
Yeah.
So do we take the straight out of his hand? Do we take sets out of his hand? Or no?
I don't think so.
Or maybe he wasn't even paying attention to the fact there's still someone to act. He was just so happy someone was getting it in that he could snap it off with top set.
You know, he I don't know that he really did, because it's like right after he called, as soon as he did, then he kind of looked up and saw that I was still yet to act, and he realized that there were other options other than just calling. You know, like he could have shoved, or he could have, I don't know, thought, or I just got the impression that he was only thinking of his hand and not anything else.
Yeah, like I said, I think his range is super strong, which makes... I think this is a call, really, regardless. But just especially because you still have over $300 behind.
Yeah. And
his range is super strong, and it's going to be just hard for him to fold if you hit your hand.
Okay.
That's my opinion on it. So, especially the way it's a gambly dude, and you know what I mean. So.
Okay. Yeah, I throw in the call, and then the river is the 10 of hearts. So we've got king of clubs, 10 of clubs, and the board is ace of clubs, king of hearts, 6 of diamonds, queen of clubs, 10 of hearts. So we river 2 pair.
Okay.
And the big blind insta shoves.
I think it's a pretty easy fold, but I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. I snap fold.
One of them has you beat.
Yeah.
I was going to say it'd be interesting if you checked here if you want to turn your hand into a bluff and shove, yeah, I think he's got you.
Yeah. Okay. I felt the same way. I flicked it in. I flicked in my cards as in folding, and the button, he showed up with king queen. He had king queen off, and he turned 2 pair. And the big blind surprised the hell out of me. He had pocket queens. So he turned a set.
Okay.
And then I would argue, which is probably one of the worst shoves of his time at the table, was shoving that river when any jack is a straight. Right?
Well...
What if I had king jack of clubs there? Then he just shoved and...
Well, if he was planning on calling anyways, if he had to call, which if I were him, I probably would with all that money in there, then why not shove and see if you can get you to call with 2 pair?
Okay.
I mean, not you, but some people might say screw it and call with ace 10 there.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, well, he never has a jack. He wouldn't just shove there. You know what I mean? Someone could be thinking along those lines. I think if, like you said, at this point there's 520.
Because all those 2 pairs, I'm checking behind when he checks, but when he shoves right there, he might get a call from, like you said, ace 10, ace king.
Right.
I can't have ace king there though. I mean, I just called 5 with the button left to act. Like, I can't have ace king. I can't have ace queen. He blocks the shit out of that. Ace 10 would be doable. Ace 6, I would have raised the flop.
Probably, yeah, I don't know what a real pro would say in that spot. Is like maybe you can even bet small for value and then fold to a shove. Because, which would be a dangerous way to play it if we're playing, 10-25 against some wizard who was capable of shoving the river with nothing to make it look like a jack.
Yeah.
But against the average 1-2 player, this guy can get perfect information. He can bet 150. And if you shove, he has a jack. If you shove, you always have a jack, and you can still get called by worse.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the play rather than shoving. But I think this guy was just like, well, I got a set, and if he got lucky, then so be it. I don't even know if he's thinking about,
I don't think there was any thought because I took a while to call the turn. And I think his decision was already made up. It was like as the card was coming down, he went all in. I don't even know if he knew what it was.
Right. I mean, you definitely had ace jack in your range on the turn. I mean, you don't have king jack or queen jack. But there's, you got a few combos of hands there for sure. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean,
I think I only have king jack of clubs. Ace jack. Am I calling the turn? I'm folding there personally on the turn, but maybe he could put me on.
Yeah, maybe he's supposed to check fold the river. It depends on if it's villain dependent. If it's someone who's never bluffing, who's only betting with a jack, I guess you can just check fold. But you also in that spot, there's a lot of people who would have called with your hand, Steve. Oh, the guy's trying to say he's got a jack and he's bluffing me or something. You know what I mean? But like
it
I
seemed
said,
like pretty easy fold, I think.
Yeah, no, it was. But I'm just saying there might be some dopes who would call there. But yeah, like he just by the action on the turn alone, the worst hand he has is 2 pair on that board.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I don't think he's snap calling with ace jack or ace 10. You know what I mean? I don't think he's got a 9 high flush draw. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he played it okay.
Okay.
We didn't even discuss the possibility of you shoving the turn. I mean, I think it's awful. It would be bad, but just that just occurred to me. I was wondering if there's any. Yeah. Obviously, if the guy had a set, but that's not even worth discussing. But yeah, I think you played it fine.
Okay.
And it turns out you did save yourself money by not following my advice and raising pre-flop because the guy had a strong hand. So.
Yeah, I was really surprised to see him show up with the queens there, though. That was surprising to me. Because the previous big hands he had, he always raised. Or if he didn't, then I never saw him get to showdown. It was one of those that he limped, and I just never saw it. Right. But yeah. Anyhow, that was fun. Yeah, I'm looking forward to coming out for the WSOP. That's going to be cool. But this hand was brought to you by our friends at Tournament Poker Edge. TPE is the best training site out there for tournaments. They even have a cash form on there for you too. If if you play random cash sessions like the hand we just talked about. If you're serious about getting better at poker, this will be the best thing you have ever done for your tournament game. Check out the forums, watch their free training videos. They've got over 10 hours of free training videos to watch. I just started with those personally and just devoured them. And that's how I got into the site. And then I was reading through the forums and I was like, well, I have a bunch of hands I want to post. So, when you sign up, use the code HUP month, HUP quarter, or HUP year. You will get a discount. You will SYSC. You'll save yourself some cash. And you will keep this show chugging along. Keep Andrew, our editor, paid. And have a new episode each and every week. Tournament Poker Edge. It's the best poker training site ever, and that will ever be. What do you got going on?
This Vegas talk, Steve, has gotten us excited here. You're dropping the mic.
I know. I am stoked. I can't wait. Can't wait. What do you got going on throughout the week? Just 2-3 cash, getting up to work out?
Yeah, pretty much. I think I've had after my little hot streak online, I think I'm down like 6K over the last couple of weeks, including a couple. I had a bagel this past Sunday, like 16 bullets, didn't cash anything.
I had one of those a couple of weeks ago. I went 15 or 0-15.
And
God.
yeah, you know what I mean. Kind of, we're back to basics here, Steve. With me, losing more than I'm winning, but we'll try to turn that around and definitely stick. It's hard sticking to the low stakes because the 5-5 game there can be juicy. You look over Friday, you see a couple guys who just who are just like there to gamble and throw money around, and the game is good. But I just don't have money to play against those guys.
Yeah,
those guys can take you for 3K off you in a blink of an eye.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter. So I lose a buy-in at 2-3 for $400, and I shrug my shoulders and rebuy. But at 5-5, it can be painful.
You can do it, Mikey. Hang in there. Do the 2-3. Vegas is coming. I can't wait. I'm going to be railing you on Twitter. That is so much fun to me, railing guys on Twitter when you have a piece of this.
It is. I hope. I'm playing such a large schedule. I'm assuming there's got to be at least a couple good deep runs and sweats. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
But it is. Whatever. It is what it is. People are investing in you, and if you don't do well, they just, poker people understand that. They accept it.
Yeah.
So the first few times I got money, I was just like, felt so bad for the people who are, giving me money. But it's like, well,
we know it's a gamble just like you do. That's it. That's the fun of it. So you could invest and get nothing, or you could invest and double your money, or you could invest and freaking bink it. You just don't know. That's the fun.
So you're officially in for 1% for the whole summer here, Steve?
I'm officially in for 1% for the whole summer.
Okay. Booked.
All right. Cool. Right on, brother. Well, you can get your free 7-minute Tilt-Buster. Click on the link in the show notes. If you want other MP3s, use the code HUPOKER and save yourself some cash. Check out the free training videos at Tournament Poker Edge. When you sign up, use the codes HUP month, HUP quarter, and HUP year. Bookmark us on Amazon, headsuppoker.poker. Follow me on Twitter at HUP Podcast. Follow Mike at Mike Snyderman, or watch him play live on twitch.tv/rampagepoker, just like Aaron. Check out our website, headsuppoker.poker, and all the links for Mike's backing will be in the show notes. You guys can hit him up there, buy pieces, sweat him like me, and if you guys head out to the WSOP, hit us up. We'll meet up. Thank you for tuning in, and here is your weekly motivational speech.
What would you like to do if money were no object? How would you really enjoy spending your life? Well, it's so amazing. As a result of our kind of educational system, crowds of students say, well, we'd like to be painters, we'd like to be poets, we'd like to be writers, but as everybody knows, you can't earn any money that way. Or another person says, well, I'd like to live an out-of-doors life and ride horses. If you say that getting the money is the most important thing, you will spend your life completely wasting your time. You'll be doing things you don't like doing in order to go on living, that is, to go on doing things you don't like doing, which is stupid. Better to have a short life that is full of what you like doing than a long life spent in a miserable way. And after all, if you do really like what you're doing, it doesn't matter what it is, you can eventually you could eventually become a master of it. The only way to become a master of something is to be really with it. And then you'll be able to get a good fee for whatever it is. But it's absolutely stupid to spend your time doing things you don't like in order to go on spending things you don't like, doing things you don't like, and to teach your children to follow in the same track. And so, therefore, it's so important to consider this question: what do I desire?